What's up, guys? I got my boy Danny Donahue with me, and today we're going to cover just how to defend the Kimura, especially when you're passing a no-gi. And it's not like the most popular move, but you know, if you're going against someone really strong, you let them get that Kimura grip as you're passing in no-gi, there is a possibility that they can roll you. And a great example of one of my defenses that I do is when GSP fought Matt Hughes back in the day. So let's get at it. So just to demonstrate, I'll demonstrate on Danny. You know, if you're in no-gi, sometimes the guy's passing your guard, just like a meat slice or something. He's going to pass in here. Sometimes the guy will, instead of trying to recompose here, he'll switch to the arm. So as Danny keeps passing, here, they'll lock it. You know, if you can get the arm free, that's really good. Or, you know, sometimes the guy grabs his hand and the arm, you know, is kind of stuck near his hip. So regardless, the sweep's gonna be the same. It's pretty much a power move. That's why I don't really like to do it. Big guys, it might work for you, especially on smaller guys. So I'm here, I can either stay very square with him or I can kind of move myself to north-south. From here, I'm gonna bridge my legs up or bridge my hips off the mat and then could come over, okay? From here, you know, you can do this Kimura trap, like go to sit up, Danny. Like Danny was showing some stuff like this before. Or say you don't know any of that stuff. Look, I'm just gonna rock up to the side, okay? So this is a very good move for big guys, or, you know, I consider this more of a desperation move because it's not something you wanna rely on, okay, consistently. So I'm gonna have Danny do that to me. So this is as you're passing. You know, it could be a knee slice, could be like, you know, almost like a Toriando, no-gi Toriando kind of pass, leg drag kind of thing. So as I'm getting here, you know, if I let him get my arm, especially if he disconnects it from my body, so take it behind my back, Danny. Yeah, here it's very hard, you know. Sometimes they might even sweep themselves, like they'll just kind of roll and hope they get out. But it's a bad position. Okay. So we're gonna look at three different escapes that I like to use. So say I'm knee cutting, that's one of my favorite passes, the knee slice pass. As I'm passing, instead of trying to recompose his guard, he's gonna attack my arm, okay? So my first defense is probably the most common one and the best one. As he grabs my arms, I'm gonna bring my free leg over and into like the crook of his elbow. From here, I'm just gonna pull and push my knee forward as I pull my arm out. Okay? From here, I like to go cross face, and maybe if I'm lucky, I can trap his arm too. You know, we can start attacking that head and arm choke. So let's look at that one more time. He goes to attack. So I go as soon as I feel him grab my forearm. So I come over, trap, boom. From here, I can go cross body too, into the crucifix. So that's another attack. Here. One thing I also note, I never keep my arm bent because it's gonna make it easy for him. So I kind of keep it a little straighter. Knee comes through to the mat, and now all I do is kind of stretch it out, okay? From here, cross body or cross face, trapping the shoulder. You know, we can start attacking here. All right, so that's one of my favorite ones. My next one, this is more what I do when the guy has it very tight. Like, you know, maybe I'm trying to pass, but it's kind of tight. So all I'm gonna do, you know, maybe if I don't have a lot of space, come towards my head a little bit. If I don't have a lot of space, I'm gonna grab my body. I can even try to grab my arm too. And look, I'm gonna turn my back to Danny. Okay. From here, it doesn't matter if I'm in half guard. You know, I prefer to do it from half guard too. I'm gonna turn my back. From here, his arms aren't very strong because look, my rib cage is kind of trapping him. Sorry, Danny. From here, especially if he tries to take me towards my back a little bit. There, I can grab my own hands and look, I pull up. Oh, sorry, just let go, boom. From here, I can go back to the mat, start attacking his arm. Let's look at that a few times. Here. So now there's no space here to come inside. So now I'm forced to turn my back. Okay. From here, be careful not sitting back. You can try to sit back, but you have to make sure you really break that grip. Okay. There's no space. So I pull my arm into my body, turn my back. Boom. You know, it doesn't matter if he has half guard or whatever. It kind of helps me. Now I sit back and pull. Boom. Sometimes the guy might tap out, but usually they're gonna let go. Look, regrip. Come up higher on the elbow. And then I can start attacking him. All right. And look, I get it like a guillotine grip, guys, and I pull up. Boom. Okay. If I want to, I can just come out now because he's not gonna be able to re-attack. So now we're gonna look at one of my favorite ones. This one I hit very rarely because I try not to get in Kimuras. But sometimes, like, you just get in the Kimura, could be passing. Maybe I was going for a single leg and he fell down. So many different positions he can get the Kimura from. But say, you know, just in passing, he gets that Kimura, and maybe this time he's more turned, so I don't feel like I can move back or forward really. So now I'm gonna step towards his head. Now look, all I'm gonna do is switch my hips, or switch my legs, which helps me switch my hips. On this side. So I was here, he's got the Kimura, I step towards his head, and now I go to sit. And then look, I come straight. This is the Kimura. I can't move really, so I take a step towards his head. And look, I switch my base, guys. So I'm driving this knee to the mat as I bring this leg up. Or I don't bring it to the mat, I bring it towards his armpit. From here, I just lean back. So I can't move, so I take a step over his head, and I'm gonna bring my knee to his armpit, okay? As I bring my back leg up. If I want to, I can kind of pose. Sometimes this happens so fast that you just go into it, okay? Again, you can watch Matt Hughes versus GSP back in the day. He hit it. GSP, or Matt Hughes did this GSP, right? Man, you gotta be careful, guys. So here, I switch my hip, sit back, and guys, I'm tight here, okay? Don't leave a lot of space. You can hitchhike her out or do some other crazy stuff. Keep your knees tight, and look, I go straight back with my arm. 2-on-1. So the system works really well. I don't really get Kimura that often. You know, I have shorter arms, so it's a little bit harder. So just to kind of recap. So a lot of times you're just passing. It could be from single leg or whatever. Wherever he wants to grab a Kimura. So the first one is kind of more preemptive. Go slower. As soon as he starts grabbing my arm, I'll just come in and break, and then I can, you know, make him, punish him for going for my arm. The second one, he's got it tighter, so I can't get my knee in. See how my knee's out? Okay. So guys, these escapes are very important because you don't want to take a lot of damage on your shoulders. You know, if you want to train jiu-jitsu for a long time, you can't afford to take damage on your shoulders. Okay. So here I don't have space. So look, I turn my back to Danny, and I want to try to get his elbow between my armpit. There. Try to pull my arm, Danny. Okay. So it doesn't matter how strong he is. If I get my armpit over his arm, I can lock that thing in. And now look, I go to grab my hand, break the grip. You can almost do a Kimura here too. Or I like to switch and use this more traditional style, okay? The third option, I'm gonna pass. This time he's got it really tight and I feel like I just cannot move. This happens a lot, you know, even if he gets my arm kind of out. So, you know, you kind of screwed up if you let your arm come out here, right? So the other two escapes are not gonna work. All I can do as he starts pushing my arm, go push it further back. Boom. Okay, so that one's cool, but you know, we don't want to use that very often. That means you screwed up getting your arm separated from your body. And then look, it's the same move. Before he can regrip, I pinch my knees together, slide my hand up his arm. Here, arm bar. So that last one's really rough, man. If you let the guy get your arm here, you pretty much have to go for it, or you sweep yourself, okay? So the Kimura, you know, no-gi, Kimuras and guillotines and leg locks, that's what you gotta watch out for. I try to be preemptive. As soon as I feel the guy grabbing my arm, I start defending. I think a lot of guys, they sit in the Kimura, or just submissions in general, especially like leg locks. Guys sit in the leg lock and they're just like, oh, what's going on? You know, so be more preemptive. That's like all defense is. You recognize what's going on. Oh, he's going for Kimura? That means you need to start defending it, okay? And there will be times where you don't see the submission coming. Like sometimes you kind of triangle, you're like, oh my God, how did that happen? So you have to be aware of your positions and your opponent's options, okay? So you can't always be like rushing into the person. Sometimes they're setting you up for something, especially like this Kimura. Let's do it from standing, Danny. You know, sometimes you're like, oh, I'm going for the leg. And then the guy, he's really good at this kind of Kimura trap setup, and he's able to go take me down. And then like, man, you're pretty screwed, you know, if you let go your arm. And then, man, you know, game over, man. So guys, you know, I hope you guys don't have to use these techniques, but it's good to have them in your back pocket, especially the last one where the arm becomes separated from your body. You gotta get out of there. Otherwise, you know, you're gonna take a lot of damage on your arm, your shoulders. And as far as like training, shoulders and knees, and fingers, right? That's where a lot of guys get injured. So I want you guys to be safe out there. And if you guys can, please follow Danny. I'll link his social media somewhere here. All right. So guys, until next time, peace out and ciao.